Everyone knows that bacon is fantastic, right? But too much of a good thing isn't great either. So whether you're just bored of bacon or trying to cut down on the amount of processed meat you're consuming, sometimes it's nice to have an alternative. And in this video, I'm gonna give you 9, starting with bacon's best friend, eggs. Yes, it's possible to have eggs for breakfast without bacon. Eggs are a fantastic low carb breakfast option because they're naturally low in carbohydrates and high in protein. They're highly nutritious, very filling, and one large egg contains less than 1 gram of carbohydrate. Eggs, of course, can be prepared in various ways and are versatile enough to pair with other low carb ingredients like cheese and meats and vegetables. You've got scrambled eggs, omelets, poached eggs, fried eggs, boiled eggs. Egg muffins are also a great option to prepare in advance if you're short on time in the mornings. Frittatas also work really well for prepping in advance. Let me know in the comments, how do you like your eggs in the morning? Next, we've got Greek yogurt. A tub of full-fat Greek yogurt is something I pretty much always have in the refrigerator. It can be a great breakfast option or a snack at any time of day. Unlike regular yogurt, Greek yogurt is strained to remove most of the lactose, resulting in a thicker and creamier yogurt that is lower in carbohydrates. The carbohydrate content is around 4 grams per 100 grams, but it will vary slightly from brand to brand. Serve it with some lower carb berries, nuts, or seeds. I really like a sprinkling of unsweetened shredded coconut in there. Next, we've got chia puddings. Chia seeds are highly nutrient-dense seeds that are considered by many to be a superfood. They're packed full of vitamins and minerals and are very high in fiber. Chia seeds can absorb up to 9 times their weight in liquid. And when you combine them with low-carb milk options such as almond milk or coconut milk and leave them for a few hours, it creates a gel-like texture that people describe as being like a pudding. The chia seeds themselves are virtually flavorless, so they take on the flavor of whatever else you put in there. I like to use almond milk and add strawberries, almond butter, and some cinnamon. The best thing is they can be made in advance and kept in the fridge, and you can easily make enough for an entire week's worth of breakfast in one go. But suppose you're looking for something a little bit more crunchy in the mornings. Well, why not try a low carb granola for breakfast, which is much lower in carbohydrate than your traditional alternatives. You can easily make your own using nuts, seeds, and coconut flakes, although recently I've noticed a few pre-prepared options coming onto the market too. Now, you can serve it with something like almond milk or use it as a topper for the Greek yogurt or chia puddings we've already mentioned. Next up, we have low carb pancakes. Okay, these might be more of a brunch option, but low carb pancakes replace regular flour with almond flour, coconut flour, or ground flax seeds. Now, the texture isn't exactly like traditional pancakes, but it's what you pair it with that makes all the difference. So if you're looking for something indulgent, check out this smoked salmon pancake stack with creme fraiche from my website. Protein shakes can also be a useful breakfast option because they're just such a convenient way to get a decent amount of protein while keeping the carb count low. I make mine in the blender using almond milk, some almond butter, protein powder, and some frozen berries, so I guess it's more like a protein smoothie. Top tip: keep an eye out in the freezer section of your local supermarket for frozen avocado. It works great in blended smoothies, and it's so much easier than faffing around peeling avocados, which may or may not be ripe. Next up, a bit of a curveball. How about eating last night's leftovers? Bear with me here. The idea of what we think breakfast should look like has been pushed on us by many years of marketing messages from big food companies. So now we have this idea that breakfast should be cereal-based or toast or some other traditional breakfast options. But in reality, there's no reason that breakfast has to look anything like that. So if you've got something left over from the previous evening, then why not use that? If you're struggling to think of what you can make with your leftovers, then I'm always a big fan of using cooked vegetables and meats with some eggs and cream to make a frittata. Then we come to bulletproof coffee. Many of you will be aware of bulletproof coffee, which is coffee, unsalted butter, and medium chain triglyceride or MCT oil. Now, this can be a really excellent breakfast substitute when you're just starting out on a ketogenic diet because the fat from the butter helps to keep you full, and the MCT oil can be rapidly absorbed and converted into ketones by the liver, which gives you an energy boost. Now for our final breakfast option. Yep, it's number 9, nothing. I know the idea that breakfast is the most important meal of the day is a very commonly held belief, but it's simply not supported by scientific evidence. Yes, some people love breakfast, and if that's you, then hopefully you've got some great low carb options to set you up for the day. But if you're not a breakfast person, don't worry about it. You don't need to eat breakfast in the morning, so if you're not hungry first thing, just hold off until you are. And when you do finally get hungry later on in the day, you might like to know which vegetables are gonna work really well for your low carb diet, which is why I made a video all about this. And you can watch that by clicking here right now. Now, if you're new to the world of low carb diets, or if you're not getting the results you were hoping for, then I'd love you to join me when we next run the Carb Dodging Challenge. It's a great program where me and my team will take you through everything you need to be successful. The link to find out more about that is in the description down below.